You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma podcast. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today. But before we do, I've got to thank our sponsors. First of all, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. They've been a huge part of this podcast for the last few years. So the Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is the Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma. And it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. A huge shout out to Governor Anatoby for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. And finally, our third sponsor is 988. The Oklahoma 988 Mental Health Lifeline. 988 is a direct 3-digit lifeline that connects you with trained behavioral health professionals that can get all Oklahomans the help that they need. Learn more by visiting 988oklahoma.com. That's 988oklahoma.com. And now, let's get into today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast Paige Shepherd and Angel Green of Chickasaw Nation Tourism, Chickasaw Country. See, I butchered that at the start. I'm going to keep that in because it's just just me, and people listening will know me, that I make mistakes all the time. Chickasaw Country, which is the travel department, effectively, of the Chickasaw Nation. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to dive into all of the topics that we're going to dive into today, and for people to learn about, the amazing places that they can go and do. We're recording this over Thanksgiving weekend. I'm sure people have got family coming in town. This will go out after. However, when you do have family coming into town, you don't want them cooped up inside the house because it might drive you nuts. Definitely drives me nuts. You want to send them to a place that they can go and enjoy, especially if they're coming from out of state. So, ladies, before we dive into the topic we're going to talk about today, tell me a little bit about you. How did you start? How did you end up in Oklahoma, and then how did you start working for Chickasaw Country?
Well, I'm going to start because I'm a native Chickasaw Country person.
Amazing.
I was born and raised in Chickasaw Country and have lived here a majority of my life. I think it is the best place to live and raise a family, and for visitors to come and enjoy. The people are great, and so I'm just proud to be from Chickasaw Country. But I've worked for the tribe for about 19 years. Started in the gaming properties, and then as time went on, was ready to move on and do something different. And so 10 years ago, I joined Paige here, and here we are in tourism, just spreading the word about Chickasaw Country.
Yeah. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Marlow, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, Marlow Outlaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also know someone from my golf team played in Marlow as well.
There you go.
Yeah, on the girls' side. And I only knew where it was because you go through Marlow to go to Duncan.
Yes,
right?
you do. Highway 81.
There we go. That's all I know about Marlow.
Well, Marlow's a great place. Lots of good people come from Marlow.
You're about to know a whole lot more.
Yes. That's awesome. Paige, what about you?
Yeah, so Paige Shepherd. I've worked for the Chickasaw Nation for 14 years. We started the tourism department 14 years ago, so it's really been exciting to be part of the journey of developing a travel and tourism brand for the Chickasaw Nation and taking that brand locally, internationally, globally. It's really been a fun journey. The opportunity to develop an identity and a persona from the essence of the tribe was really rewarding, and having so many different partners participate and identifying who we are and who do we want people to know us as, and that's where the term Chickasaw Country came from. So we are in the heart of Indian Country, was where Oklahoma was located, and then the state is also divided by countries from a state tourism perspective. So that brand Chickasaw Country just really resonated not only from a tribal standpoint but from a tourism standpoint. So it's been really rewarding. I am from Oklahoma City originally, and have had the joy and opportunity of learning about Chickasaw Country. When I started, I wasn't necessarily familiar with the region, and I have the tourism background and the tourism experience, but I love that we have so many people on our team that are from Chickasaw Country and allow us to learn. And as a destination, it has changed drastically over the last 14 years. There are so many people who are investing in the region and adding new things. So even if you're not from Chickasaw Country, there's something new to learn every single day about what's going on. So we're just glad to be here.
It's when you're in the travel space, right? There's always like, it's not just destination, right? Oh, there's so much to go around just travel, because there's the restaurants that are in those places. You know, there's the coffee shops. There's an epic ice cream place down in Broken Bow, I think, recently as well. And now
that would be Choctaw Country.
Choctaw Country, okay.
But we like them. They were,
right?
Similar brands.
Blame me, I'm from the UK. But like to that point, like there's just so much, right? So every day for you guys is different, and every day you're like, wow, this new business popped up. How can we go and highlight this business? And then if they're in, a certain community, it just adds to that community, right? Because people think, right, today's world, it's like, right, where can I get an epic meal? Mostly a double cheeseburger, because there are some great double cheeseburger and cheeseburger places. In the nation, I believe.
And in Chickasaw Country.
Yeah. So a friend of mine described Oklahoma, we call Oklahoma like the Bible Belt, right? The southern, and like he described it as he said think of the religion as, the Bible Belt, right? He said Oklahoma's the buckle. But he said, think of it in a cheeseburger world, the cheeseburger belt. Oklahoma is the buckle of the cheeseburger world, and he is on this absolute mission to find the best double cheeseburger in Oklahoma. And there are so many little spots.
Well, he needs to go to Pawpaw's in Chickasha then.
Yes.
He needs to go to Pawpaw's because, they'll make them this big. It's just incredible. So I challenge him to try Pawpaw's in Chickasha and walk away with the belt if he can eat that big cheeseburger.
It's just, anyway, I'm getting hungry. We could talk about food all day. We should not talk about food because we're all going to get hungry. All right, let's do our topic. So, topic for today: 10 things you may not know about Chickasaw Country. I'm sure it's very easy to come up with 10. I'm sure there are a lot of things, right, that most people don't know and are unaware of. But you picked the best 10. So I'll let you take it away with, if you want to start. If one of you wants to do the evens, one of you wants to do the odds, we can go through it. And I'm just interested to learn 10 awesome things. So I'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, I can kick off and then
go right ahead.
Angel will go ahead. So one of the things that we always love to tell people about is how vast Chickasaw Country is. Mm-hmm. It's more than 7,600 square miles, which is larger than 3 states in the United States, which is phenomenal. It is some or all of 13 counties, and it is 11% of the entire state of Oklahoma. That is Chickasaw Country itself. So when I explain what we do is we're the equivalent of a state tourism department. We're a sovereign tourism department, and we are promoting anything and everything within that region. So, most people, when you think of Chickasaw Country, it can take you hours to get from one end to the other, just like it does in a state. So if you are looking for anything to do, we can pitch it. we have anything and everything, whether it's food or accommodations or First American culture or Western heritage culture or mom and pop boutique stores that just don't exist a lot of times in these metropolitan areas. We have a lot of iconic American experiences.
Yeah, and Paige, like I said, I started in gaming. So let's talk about the biggest and the best, WinStar World Casino there in Thackerville. You come right across the Texas border, there it is. It's unexpected. Even if you don't game, there's so much to do. Shopping, golf. We have 2 18-hole golf courses there, and an academy where you can learn how to golf if you don't know how to golf, because I'm putt-putt, I'm in, but golfing, no. But another thing is, if you have a friend that wants to play poker or play the slot machines and you don't, put your walking shoes on. It's over a mile from one end to the other. So, you can get your steps in while they're playing. So very, very proud of that. And that is something that brings people from all over, not just our region, but from the United States, 20 restaurants. So you're not going to get hungry. Lots of hotel rooms, around 1,400 hotel rooms are RV camping. So,
And a new tower.
and a new tower coming
4,
soon. There you go.
Open soon. We'll have more than 1,400 rooms and the new event center. So be looking out for some concerts.
Concerts will be back.
Some concerts will be back. They have a brand new entertainment facility,
Yes.
which I can't wait to check out.
Me either.
I love
I'm
a good
so-
Windstar concert.
I'm so excited. So,
You
Windstar,
do. You love music.
I love my music. Lots of music in Chickasaw Country for sure. So,
Well, I think people overlook the casinos, I think, for venues, right? Like, people think of the venues, they think of the BOK or the Paycom or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
Or Criterion. I mean, Oklahoma City, we've got some great venues, but they don't think of, I could go to a casino and see someone really, really good.
oh yeah,
Right.
and the way Windstar's positioned, they can
Yeah.
control what goes into Dallas and all of that, so they can get the top acts, and that you won't see them in Dallas for 6 or 9 months. So Windstar really is just it's a world class venue, and we have so many opportunities with it.
Yeah, last time I was down there for the World Long Drive Championship, which I don't think is coming back, actually. But a friend of mine was competing, and he stayed in Thackerville, had a great time, and we got to see the whole,
Yeah.
it was incredible
Yeah.
to be there and, to see the men's and women's long drive championship. And the great thing is that parking's so easy down there.
Yes,
I
it is.
hate going places where parking's terrible. Parking was
It is
so
easy.
It was like the easiest experience ever, which
Yeah.
It
makes my
originated
soul
as a
happy.
peanut field, so we have a lot of
A lot.
space.
A lot of space, right?
So many
Yeah.
stories about building that place, but if you haven't been there, it's something you've got to see.
Yeah, and Big Ben is on the side of a parking structure, which is great. So it makes me feel like home.
There you go.
Yes, welcome home. We'd love it if you go home every weekend.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So,
so
those are the first two.
The first
What's number
two.
3?
Yeah, so Bedre Fine Chocolate. It is a business that is owned by the Chickasaw Nation, and we create and produce all types of chocolate. So we do private labeling, but we also create our own brand, which we sell at Exhibit C Gallery. We sell at the Chickasaw Travel Stops, and a lot of retailers sell Bedre chocolate across Oklahoma. I know
Yeah.
Homeland sells
Yes.
it, a lot of convenience stores, a lot of grocery stores sell it, and it's made right in Chickasaw Country. Also, if you go to Buc-ee's and you have their chocolate covered beaver nuggets, that's Bedre chocolate.
Bedre chocolate.
Really?
We're
We're everywhere.
we are everywhere, especially with Buc-ee's. We're definitely
Yes.
officially everywhere. But the chocolate is so great. And if you've never bought it and you're in the Oklahoma City area, pop into Exhibit C Gallery in Bricktown and you can buy the chocolate. Also, one of the things that I really like about if you go to the manufacturing plant, you can, it's all glass windows. So you can watch the chocolate as it's coming off of the line, which is really cool. And then they do specialty handcrafted and hand dipped items down at Bedre that you can't get anywhere else. So depending on what holiday season it is, you walk in and there might be a chocolate dipped Twinkie or something that you're just not anticipating.
Well, the good thing is too that they sell variety packs, right?
Yes.
Those little kind of 1-2 bite
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
Yes.
They're dangerous.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Because the whole pack is gone. It's like opening a can of Pringles. They can't just have one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can taste all of them. And I have that. They hand them out at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame because they're in the store at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when they have events and functions, there's always little bowls of Bedre chocolate, treats in the middle of the table. And I feel bad every now and then because I look over at, everyone else and then there's just 7 wrappers in front of where I'm sitting. It's like, oh, did you want some? Let me go to another table and get you some because they're just so good. But you're right. It's just the best. Isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
good. And private label. Maybe I needed This Is Oklahoma chocolate. We
There,
can have a
you do.
conversation about
You
that.
do. You do.
You
That's
do.
right. Well, and another place that we're proud of and that I just love, and everywhere we go, everybody has a story about Turner Falls Park. I mean, everybody's been there, or they know somebody that's been there, or it's on their bucket list. So Turner Falls, 77-foot waterfall located there in Davis, Oklahoma. It sits on about 1,500 acres. There are caves. That's something people don't understand. They think just about the falls, but there are caves that are back behind the falls that are just amazing. Great places to camp. It's a great family getaway. It's very inexpensive. But, in the summer they have horse-drawn carriage rides that you can do, and they'll take you up through the park. So it's just a great experience. The water is so cold. I mean, so when you go to the Blue Hole, you better be prepared. It's going to take your breath away. But it's just something that I think everybody needs to experience once. And then when you do, you're going to be telling your people, oh, I went there when I was a kid. I mean, we'll be in Texas and at a show talking to people and be like, oh, I went there when I was 15 years old, or that was our annual, event, our annual holiday. So we're really glad to have that as one of our Grand Canyons here in Chickasaw Country.
I took my parents there when they came to town. Yeah, they loved it. We spent like half a day down there, and water is freezing.
It is.
But yeah, I think it was when they came to town when I got married. Actually, my brother and mum and dad came and had a great time. And the other thing as well is there's a lot of ATV stuff that goes on around that area. Is that
Absolutely.
involved with you guys too?
Yeah,
Okay.
Crossbar Ranch
Right.
is it's on the 1,500 acres
Gotcha.
there. It's a little ways from the actual falls, but yeah, you can go there, take your ATVs, your dirt bikes, your campers, RVs, and camp, and just spend days and hours, driving up the hills and through the mud. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's their paradise. But
It's
I tell you
Disneyland.
what, women. I mean, you're amazed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed when I go to see the women that are there. I mean, they're in those big things just driving, and then you see them pulling out and stopping at Bedray and getting their chocolate and stuff. But yeah, they do a great job there, and they've really started having some more events. So that's something to look for as well as the events that they're having there with the races and things. So again, we've got it all
It's a good
down
spot.
there. Yep.
Yeah. So kind of agritourism, talking about things that are across rural America, I think is kind of like where it thrives. We have the pumpkin patches that we just experienced. Now we're moving into some of the colder seasons where things don't necessarily grow as
Nope.
much. So there's not things for you to do right now, but opportunities to experience. We have alpacas, we have tulips, we have a lavender farm. I mean, get kind of the warmer weather. We're moving into cold weather, but these are bucket list things. So Tucker tulips and Ada is a really great thing to do. Who doesn't love tulips?
Oh, I know. You get to go cut your own.
Yeah.
So you can all pink if you want all pink.
And one year for Earth Day, we gave away Tucker tulips.
They're bulbs, so people
they're
can
bulbs.
plant
Plant their own.
Have
So-
part of Chickasaw Country.
Yeah, part of Chickasaw Country in their own little garden. Then the Lakeview Lavender Farm in Pauls Valley. I talked about the alpacas that are in Duncan. So that's Crossed Arrows Alpaca Farm. They also have a fiber mill. So that you could do in the winter.
Yep.
Obviously, go check that out. Get you something warm.
Oh, I know.
Go to some alpaca mitts or some, alpaca hat. Scarf.
We've needed it the past week.
Something you never know in Oklahoma. And then we have the Martin Bird Tree Farm in Tuttle too. So all your agritourism needs, these all have experiences where you can go and tour or experience how this business runs, but it's also a benefit from a tourism standpoint.
Yeah, I've had everyone except for Martin Bird Tree Farm on the podcast.
Have you really good?
Yeah, Tucker's Tulips was great. I think we did that last year. Actually, it was all three were in the COVID year because we did them by Zoom.
Yeah.
And I was mad because I couldn't go and see the alpaca farm.
Well, it's
but they're
leading
great.
into Christmas, and Martin Bird specializes in Christmas trees.
Yes.
I feel like you could have them on. Like,
There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
Soon.
soon. Yeah, this could be like next week
There you
situation. Picking out your own, you pick Christmas tree.
Are you on the real Christmas tree kind of? Do you do that every year? Or
I have a real Christmas tree. I'm a real
Same.
Christmas tree person.
I'm like a box. I want this to be as easy as possible, and my tree is a box.
Yeah.
Up and down, in and out, done.
It's a good thing you moved to America. We like it, just simple, go purchase. But yeah, I'm a like live Christmas tree person. I got my date, December 2nd. Get my live Christmas tree. Have Martin Bird come on.
So you have your set date every year?
Oh, I had to schedule it, but yeah.
All right. Well, good.
Yep.
See, I'm learning things. I
Next
didn't know you had
Friday.
to schedule when you would go pick it out.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Well, talking about the agritourism page, growing up in Chickasaw Country, we have a lot of small towns, and it's really good to see these small towns be able to take what they're doing as farmers or ranchers, and turn that into a business. And I tell you what, the people from the metropolitan areas love those things. So they love to go down and experience that. And the thing that makes it so great is the people. You know, you get out there and you're talking to Joe that's farmed those tulips, you know, all these years, or that's grown those trees, you know, from the inception of when they were just little bitty till now they're big. You know, those stories and those people, you don't get that in the big cities. And you know, that's why I think Chickasaw Country is such a great experience for people from all over to come and not just our places, but our people. Mm-hmm. I mean, they tell the stories. So I'm excited about all that. So
I'm glad you're excited, because you're the one, you know, this is your job, right? But it also seems like it comes across that, you know, when people talk about their jobs, sometimes they're just like, yeah, I do this and this. You're really excited about this.
I love it.
can tell you exactly. You absolutely love what you do, which is awesome.
I love the people. I love the people. We're blessed to have them. So another place that's exciting. Now, it's not some place that I go very often.
You got grandkids.
I know, but my grandkids are so excited.
Yeah.
You know, the Toy and Action Figure Museum in Pauls Valley. I mean, wall-to-wall action figures. I mean, if it's been made, Kevin Stark has it. I mean, over 13,000 toys.
Wow. That's a lot of toys.
I don't have a toy box that big.
Got 3 grandsons. I think you could.
I need to do it more often. But Kevin, you know, he's really taken his love of that and designed a space that is just, it's unique. You're not going to see it anywhere else. And, you know, if you're going from, you know, Dallas to Oklahoma City, when you're driving through Chickasaw Country, it's an easy access right off I-35 into Pauls Valley. And, you know, they rotate exhibits and they change things out. So if you are a Marvel person or you have grandkids, it's a must do in Chickasaw Country for sure.
And you mentioned Kevin.
Oh.
And most people probably don't know, but he is like internationally renowned.
Yes.
Like if you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he created it. Simpsons, he created them. Like, I mean, this is a man who could live anywhere in the world, and he lives in Chickasaw. Like, he has his toy and action figure in Chickasaw Country.
Yep.
He's invested here.
Yes, he is.
It's just, I didn't know this, so this guy is going on the podcast list.
Yes.
I didn't know that
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Amazing.
telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're you know, we've got it all.
Okay, so
yes.
talking about this like big iconic thing, Christmas Story.
Yeah.
You know the movie. Everyone knows the Christmas Story movie. And Chickasha has really claimed ownership
Yes.
of that leg lamp. Like, they've claimed it so much, they have now one that's year-round. They're like, this isn't a Christmas story. This is a year-round Chickasha
Their own
story now.
park.
Yeah.
Yes. They built a park
Like,
for it.
they have a permanent 50-foot fiberglass leg lamp in Chickasha.
Unbelievable.
Like, year-round. You can go, it could be Christmas any time of year now. Who needs Hallmark? We've got it in Chickasha, you know? Like,
Well, somebody here in the office said that, you know, Chickasaw is now the Christmas town, you know, because they have the Chickasaw Festival of Light that happens every year where I don't know how many lights. I mean, I don't even know if there's enough zeros on how many lights there are there, but Chickasha with the leg lamp and the lights is definitely Christmas town in Chickasaw Country.
yeah.
So,
And the leg lamp has its own Facebook page.
seriously?
Yeah. So you go follow them. Go follow the leg lamp.
the leg lamp.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and kind of in connection with the leg lamp, right now they have a Ryder BB exhibit right down the street from the leg lamp.
Like the Ryder
BBs.
BB
guns.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
they have a whole
goodness.
exhibit to support
Wow.
this Christmas story
Story.
theme.
Wow,
You know, they've
that is
really
awesome.
They've claimed ownership.
I'm learning something about Chickasaw Country today.
Yeah.
Tell you
Looks
what.
like you got another thing to go to. With
I
those grandsons.
know.
Especially
Well,
over Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I like that it's fun, you know, that it was funded by private dollars. So it just shows that people are into tourism and they're into their communities and how, you know, they're building their community. So kudos to Chickasha.
Yeah.
I'm really proud to say that that's in Chickasaw Country.
I know. That is pretty cool.
I met with the guy who runs something, that travel stuff down there. I forget his name. But we did a podcast together, and he brought on with us a couple, the Imaginaries, who did the song. They have a song every year for the town.
Yeah.
Christmas song every year, because they're kind of big in Christmas music, and they're local.
Yeah.
And they're called the Imaginaries, husband and wife, and they can sing. And Shane plays guitar like nobody else.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive. I think his name's Shane. Another little tidbit. So.
There you go. Chickasaw's
But
got it all.
giant leg lamp. And
Yes.
like you said, they have built a park around this
Around
leg
it,
lamp.
yeah.
It doesn't just show up.
You don't just have a leg lamp, you have to have a park too.
Yeah.
So,
Brilliant.
well, that's good. Well, Chickasaw Country's got lots of events too.
A ton of events. And they're unique.
Of events, very unique.
We got unique events.
But the one that happens in Elmore City, I mean, nobody knows about Elmore City. It's just a very small community.
Where is Elmore City?
Elmore City is just to the west of Pauls Valley and just to the east of Lindsay Marlowe area, right on Highway 29.
So close to your stomping grounds.
Very close to my stomping grounds. But
Were you in the movie?
I was not in the movie, but it happened during my era, you know?
So did you remember it?
So I remember because,
What
growing-
movie? What are y'all talking about?
Footloose.
Go.
There we go. Footloose is about Elmore City and about the fact that this town would not allow the kids to dance, and they wanted a prom. And if you go on Chickasaw Country, we do have an interview with the actual people that
Yeah.
was there. The school board member, the dad that voted to do it, the boy and the girl. I mean, it's all there. But can you imagine that they took a story from Elmore City, Oklahoma, and did this huge movie with it? That will be, I think, 40 year. It'll be their 30 year release here pretty soon. So. I'm telling 2024, everybody needs to be in Elmore City
Yeah.
for the Footloose
Is
Festival.
Kevin Bacon coming back?
I think we need to start a campaign for
Yeah,
that.
hashtag
Kevin come
Bacon
back.
to Elmore
Yeah.
City.
Yeah, Kevin
Are you a
come
fan
back.
of the new one or the original?
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
The original.
What about you?
That's back in the
I
day.
mean, I'm not a
young.
movie.
She's-
I'm
You're not a movie
person.
person at all?
Like if you gave me a movie quote, I would be like, Mike, that's a really great quote you just told me.
You should put that on a wall somewhere. Yeah.
Someone else should
Right
say
back.
that, you know?
Brilliant.
Okay, so famous people.
Famous people.
Blake Shelton. I mean, he's from Ada. He claims Tish is his home, his home now. He's got a lake house at Lake Texoma. He is the epitome of a superstar in Chickasaw Country.
Yes,
He has Old Reds in Tishomingo. He has the Doghouse in Tishomingo. He is so integrated, and he represents Chickasaw Country. Like this is a homegrown boy who is in LA all the time, a superstar in Nashville, and he still communicates to the world that Tishomingo is his home. And he married Gwen Stefani. They got married here in Oklahoma, in Chickasaw Country.
So if he can get married in Chickasaw Country, everyone can get
Yeah.
married in Chickasaw Country.
We probably need to have a little bit more infrastructure if we're inviting the whole world to come and get married here simultaneously for the rest of time. But give the nation a couple years and we'll probably put something together.
There you go. Well, we have lots of great wedding venues throughout our area.
yeah.
So
There's a lot of places. But yeah, the fact that, Blake Shelton is from Chickasaw Country and how integrated he is, not just in one town, but across Chickasaw Country. We're just so excited to have him as part of the fabric of who we are and what tourists and guests can experience and go eat at his restaurants, which, the very first Old Red was in Chickasaw Country, and now they're across the United States.
He wanted it that way. He wanted his first one to be there. And so it's exciting.
And sometimes you'll go and he might be there.
Yeah, or at Ace Hardware or at a Tractor Supply somewhere, because he's always working.
He's always
driving his tractor, and you can see him. So
Coffee shops.
There you go, coffee shops. So we're excited to have him.
We need a hashtag Blake sightings.
Kind of like Sasquatch,
Choctaw Country does claim Bigfoot, so we should.
Yeah, we should.
He's tall.
He is.
He's very tall.
So
He
we
is
could do
very
that.
tall.
He has a lot of great hair.
Yes, he does.
So
I think he could get on board with that.
I don't know.
This is going.
I don't know. But we're just so proud to have them as part of the fabric of Chickasaw Country.
Yeah, it is. And a new place that's opened up, Paige, I haven't been to, but need to make it, is we have a new coffee shop in Kingston. And it's owned by a the drummer Greg Upchurch, and he's played with Three Doors Down, Puddle of Mud, and that's his home. Again, Blake's coming home to do things, travel and tourism wise, and Greg's come back. So it's a coffee shop. It's Greg's Rockin' Goat Coffee Shop, and it has live music ever so often, and they have their own coffee, and it's just a cool place to stop in Kingston when you're going to the lake, or when you're staying at a cabin and you want to get out and go. So again, these people are coming home to Chickasaw Country because they see the value in our area and the people in it. So
yeah, and he's from Kingston, and his mom owned a diner in Kingston. He worked at the diner growing up,
wow.
And he opened a coffee shop right down the street from his mom's diner location.
See,
I mean, it's just, there is something about Chickasaw Country. It's the people, it's the fabric of the destination that people's heart.
Yeah.
This is something that they love, and they want to contribute to the communities. They want to ensure that they thrive. We don't want these small towns to go away. And so we're really seeing a lot of investment from people who have gone off and been really successful other places in life, and then they come back and say,
hometown pride.
My hometown pride, and this is where I want to be.
Pride.
I remember going to those, Friday night football games and eating at the diner up the street. And how can we preserve that culture of life as America and society, and everything is changing? So we really get to see that throughout Chickasaw Country, and I love that we are preserving that small town culture and that community.
I do too, and I think that's what makes us Chickasaw Country is we're staying true to our roots.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Those were 10 incredible things that I need to know, and now I know about Chickasaw Country. For people listening, we will put a link to these 10 things somewhere in the bio. I'm going to figure that out and put a link so you can remember them, write them down, go check them out. Also, go to chickasawcountry.com for more amazing tips and stuff to travel and places to see. And then on Instagram as well, Chickasaw Country, to see some epic travel drone work, because it's just, I share a lot of it. It's great.
Well, thanks for sharing.
What have I missed?
Yes.
Have I missed anything? Is that the best place to
those
go?
are the top 10.
Great.
I mean, if we wanted to stay a couple more hours, we could get into 20, 30.
yeah.
It's a long list. But website and Instagram, main two places for people to go to.
Or Facebook.
And
Or
Facebook. Yep.
All right, awesome. Well, for people listening, I'll put that link down below, and tune in for part 2 in a little bit. Catch you next episode. Cheers. Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at oklahomahof. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And finally, our third sponsor for today, the Oklahoma 988 Mental Health Lifeline. 988 is the direct 3-digit lifeline that connects you with the trained behavioral health professionals that can get all Oklahomans the help that they need. Learn more by visiting 988oklahoma.com. It's 988oklahoma.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.